Someone came into my chat the other day, and they were like, "Oh my god, you look like Sansa. Can I be your Ramsay?" And I said, "Only if I get to cut your penis off."
Yeah, sure. I'll feed you to my dogs.
And he didn't like that. And then I realized I got that term wrong because he cut off the other guy's dick. But anyway, I wanted to cut his dick off, and he left. So yeah, that happened.
Somebody said that. I just posted that picture of you, and somebody said something about look like that, and they even tagged her in it to her page. Like she's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm a doppelganger. I should go to a house and like do a whole press conference."
I don't really see the Sophie Turner thing, but whatever. It's just my hair's red.
You both have smoked too much pot eyes. That's your Sophie Turner look. Because you normally, when you're like this, when you're not high, 23 hours a day when you're stoned, you're just like, that was your Jennifer Lawrence face.
What?
When you don't get something, you're
I
like,
have never done a photo shoot where you're high, ever.
That's your Jennifer Lawrence face.
Okay.
Dude.
I get Jennifer Lawrence references when my hair's brown. But when my hair's red, people are saying Sophie Turner.
But if you ever watch Jennifer Lawrence, she's such a goof that she makes these faces all the time. So whenever I say something you don't get, and you're just like, that's your... Or the light test where you're like...
Well, because half the time when you're doing light tests, I'm like... I start posing, and I'm like, all right, I'm ready. All right, I'm ready. And then by the time you get your shit together with the lights, I'm like, time to change the pose. And then you're like, well, you moved again.
Sometimes.
Because I did the pose forever.
Sometimes.
And then I find out that I'm arching and flexing and stressing my body for a light test photo that I'm like, what do you want me to do? So then I stand there and you're like, you're not even posing. I'm like, what do you want me to do?
Sometimes the video lights fuck me up because the video lights, I'll be like, ooh, that looks really nice. And then take a picture and be like, that's the video lights. That's not even the camera lights.
You know what really fucks me up is when you put on like a couple of times you put on the video lights and you don't put on like flash because you're like, wow, this looks cool. I'm just going to take it as is. And I don't hear the click. I don't hear the beep from your lights. And I'm like, oh, geez, he's not even taking a picture. Because like, I think it was the Halloween shoot. You just kept taking photos. And I was like,
oh, yeah.
The beep, when I hear the beep, I know to switch. And so I was like, I don't hear a beep. What am I doing? What am I doing? That's weird. I have a feeling that if you ever like went into a room and just had an MP4 or an MP3 of the beep for the fucking lights.
And just played it?
I think like after 3.5 seconds go by, I'd probably start shifting my weight. Like,
I should just get
and you're like, oh, okay.
I should just get a little handheld thing like that. So if you're ever at a convention and you're talking to people or at a party, I'd be like, beep, beep, and you're just like, so yeah, Neo was jumping on the thing and
well, especially because if I'm talking to somebody, sometimes you'll take photos of me be candidly talking to somebody, so then I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna candidly talk to someone. Like, I'll be like, yeah, what's up? And then you're in the corner and I'll be like, okay, now I'm talking to this person now. And then you go away. I'm like, all right, we're back to this again.
Yeah, you can tell because you're like this. You're like, so anyway. Vogue that shit.
We should do that next convention if there ever is one ever again.
I think the whole convention thing's kind of... I do... The traveling stuff was fun. Mm-hmm. But the problem is all the conventions were at the same places we'd been. So it's like...
Oh, yeah.
Once we've been to a place, I feel like we kind of used it up.
Well, I mean... like putting the meeting the community and putting faces to names thing aside.
Yeah.
A huge sidebar on putting that aside because that's literally the only reason to go to a convention.
Yeah.
But the traveling is so fucking exhausting. It's fun, but it's exhausting.
Well, especially Vancouver because we went to the convention afterwards, so we were just like, fuck this, we're already whipped.
Yeah, we were in Vancouver for like a week and we were hiking in mountains and shooting in the snow and just driving hours and just it was a lot. And then we went to the convention. And when we got to the con, we were already like, we wasted all of our energy. Well, we didn't waste, but we took all our energy out in the mountains. And when it was time to go to the con, we were like, I want to go to bed. What the fuck's this?
Yeah.
So it was just really, I don't even really remember much of that convention because I remember
just talking to random people.
Yeah. I remember the panel.
I remember getting a couple pictures of Pamela Anderson and some other people because whenever they had that, like Billy D. Williams was like no photos or something like that.
Yeah.
I got pictures of them.
Yeah.
Because then I just feel like I'm shoplifting faces. That was about it. But, the problem with going to convention stuff, I'm just like, it's going to be the same shit that we see.
It's the same shit, but there's different people that we meet.
No, the people stuff is cool, but...
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of freaking work just to do. And not only that, but they're usually... And then they're like, it's going to be 3 or 4 days. And you're like, you're talking about a fucking work week.
I hate 4-day conventions. I think that I'm not going to do any more 4-day conventions. I think if I get booked for a convention that's 4 days, I'm going to say I can only make it to 3.
Yeah.
I can't do 4-day convention. There's no fucking reason for that. Because if you have a Thursday, Friday, Saturday convention, no one's there on a Thursday.
No.
Nobody. Or if you have a Friday, Saturday, Monday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday or so, no one's there on the first day.
Well, the Vancouver thing was, I mean, if there was more things like that where they were in cool places where we could say, all right, we'll go a few days in advance.
Oh, yeah. The only convention that I've not been to is MCM London, Gamescom, which those two are in Europe, but I've not been to San Diego Comic-Con, and I've thought about it.
San Diego would be...
no desire to go to San Diego Comic-Con.
The one thing I'll say about like California, because you could go up to, like I remember it would be summerish, maybe, I don't know, September. And I would be in the valley living, and we'd see mountains because, surrounding the city. And you'd see snow caps, and we're like, fuck it. We'd drive it for like 40 minutes and be up playing in the snow. And then we'd drive back down to the valley where it wasn't snowing. Or you could go to Big Bear where you had forest and snow and shit like that. You could go out to the desert, go to the beach, whatever. There's a lot of locations and shit, but there's not a lot of... And, the thing that sucks is every time I see like German cosplayers or Russian, those guys have like really kick-ass locations and like their forest or cool forest.
Every time I see a cosplayer photo that is like badass, and I'm like, fuck, that's so dope. Oh, he's a fucking Russian cosplayer. Those Russians are badass.
Yeah.
And then they find out they have teams of people.
Well, yeah, they have.
Or they retouch the shit out of themselves.
There's a lot of retouching. They have teams. The one thing that drove me nuts is...
to the point where they don't have bone structure anymore.
No. And there was one guy, when I first started, there was one guy that was, I can't remember his name, but he was like real popular. Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, he does do some cool shit. But then I looked at his credit, or his tags one day, and he had like art department, makeup artist, and I was like, Jesus. So he literally would take a picture of somebody in his studio, send it off, and they would make 3D models. Because I remember it was, I don't know if it was a diva or something, some character like that. But they had literally built like 3D models of the robots that go with her and shit like that. The chick you did, the white...
Oh, Ray.
Yeah, but you know how they're in the robots.
Yeah, we're going to be reshooting that one.
Yeah, well, they literally had built that shit and had a 3D team do that shit Hollywood style. And then I was like, well, fucking A, if I had somebody to do all that shit for me, then yeah. And then you had a professional makeup artist to do whatever the fuck you wanted, sure. But that's usually the stuff. But I'm just sitting there going, well, they can go out in their woods. And like here, we'd be like, let's go out to the swamp and watch out for moccasins and rattlesnakes and fucking mosquitoes.